of how the central government, the Modi government, is assaulting federalism, is subverting the rights of the states. So, I shall not speak at length on this subject, except to point out that at no time since independence, at no time since the Republican Constitution was adopted in 1950, has there been such a serious attack on the principle of federalism, which is a basic feature of the Constitution. Today, every aspect of federalism in our country, of center-state relations, whether it be political, whether it be economic, or whether it be fiscal, the central government has been systematically undermining the federal principle enshrined in the Constitution. As Comrade Balakrishnan mentioned, the Constitution says India is a union of states. But today, the states which comprise the Indian Union are being reduced to a subordinate status. Today, the states and their elected governments have to go as mendicants before the center to get resources and funds for their state, which is their due right under the Constitution. What is to be divided between the center and states, the resources, that is also being systematically violated. We also seen how elected state governments are being interfered with. We are seeing the role of governors. You have the experience of the governor in Tamil Nadu. Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan also has the experience of a governor in Kerala. And we have seen also how the Karnataka governor has behaved at times. All the states which are run by the non-BJP parties, the opposition parties, they are being discriminated against, to the extent that even when there is a natural calamity or a disaster, these states, the non-BJP ruled states, are deprived of the funds which are essential for relief and rehabilitation. Dr. Sudhakar of Karnataka can tell you how they had to go to the Supreme Court of India to get drought relief funds to be released by the center. From Tamil Nadu, you had to struggle, the Tamil Nadu government, to get adequate funds for flood relief when massive floods affected the state. And in Kerala right now, after the Wayanad disaster, the landslide, even today, despite all efforts and despite even judicial intervention, the High Court of Kerala has not got the money, the funds which are required for rehabilitation and rebuilding the affected areas in Wayanad. So this is the extent of discrimination that the Modi government is now extending to governments which belong to parties which are different from them. It is not only that. The Modi government has gone to the extent now of destroying what is the constitutional basis of the Union of States. For the first time in the history of our country, a full-fledged state, the state of Jammu and Kashmir, was dismantled, broken up into 2 union territories, illegally done. So even a state can be made a non-state under the Modi government. So this is the threat that we are all facing, the threat to federalism, the threat to the constitution, and the threat to federalism is a threat to democracy also. Because each state has their own elected legislature. That state's legislature has got the elected government appointed. And now the viceroy appointed by the center, a governor, will override the state government and the state legislature. This is not only anti-federal, this is anti-democratic. That is why our defense of federalism means also a defense of democracy. And it is a good thing that the state governments which are being led by the opposition parties, and 3 of them are present here today, the representatives of 3 such governments, they have started to work together, to join hands, to take up the fight to defend federalism and to defend state rights. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu took the commendable initiative recently on the question of the forthcoming delimitation of constituencies for the Lok Sabha and state legislatures. On March 22nd, a meeting was held of all the southern states, governments and major political parties and other states which would be affected by delimitation like Odisha and Punjab. Here again, the delimitation which is proposed on the basis of population after 2026 would create a severe imbalance in the political representation of the southern states in parliament. And this would further vitiate the federal principle and also open up the way for domination, political domination. Therefore, such initiatives as what happened on March 22nd, the Joint Action Committee meeting for a fair delimitation, what happened, I think, in Bangalore some weeks ago against the draft UGC regulations, which are going to mean that state-run universities are now going to be dictated to. Vice-chancellors will be imposed, selected vice-chancellors, and we know who will be such vice-chancellors. The RSS will select the vice-chancellors of state universities if this UGC guideline comes into force. Subsequently, in Trivandrum, a wider meeting of higher education was held. So, the way forward is for all the non-BJP state governments to put up a united front to defend their rights. And not only the state governments, but all secular and democratic forces, all secular and democratic parties which have faith in democracy, which have faith in secularism, and which have faith in federalism, we should all come together to carry this fight forward, because this is a fight for keeping India united. This is a fight for taking India forward on progressive, democratic and secular lines. So I hope that out of this seminar, we will have a greater and a better understanding of how to carry this struggle forward. Thank you very much.
தோழர் பிரகாஷ் காராத் அவர்களுக்கு வரவேற்பு குழுவினுடைய துணை செயலாளர் மரியாதைக்குரிய தோழர் மா கணேசன் இப்போது சால்வை அணிவிப்பார்.
கொண்டிருக்கும் நமது புதிய தலைமுறை தொலைக்காட்சியின் பொலிட்டிக்கல் கிரிட்டிக் நம் அனைவருக்கும் பரிச்சயமான மிகவும் அன்பான ஒரு நண்பர் கார்த்திகேயன் அவர்கள் நான் மாவட்ட நிர்வாகத்தின் சார்பாக நான் வருக என்று வரவேற்கின்றேன். அதே போல இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் நம்மை ஒருங்கிணைத்து இந்த வளாகத்தை வழங்கி உங்களுக்கெல்லாம் மிகப்பெரிய உந்து சக்தியாக இருக்கும் உங்களுடைய பிரான்சிஸ் சேவியர் இன்ஜினியரிங் கல்லூரி பிரின்சிபல் அவர்களுக்கு எனது வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அதே போல இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் வரவேற்புரை வழங்கிய ப்ரொஃபசர் திரு டாக்டர் பிரியா அவர்களுக்கும் எனது வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அதே போல
என்னுடைய வணக்கம். Special greetings from Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka, Sri Siddaramaiah, to this convention. Respected Honorable Chief Minister